Let's do it. All right. First of all, we'll wait to stand up until everybody's in here. But who here's been to a workshop before? Raise your hand real quick. All right, I want to make sure your arms work. Okay, raise your hand if you've actually, your other hand, if you've done a juicing cleanse before. Juicing cleanse. Okay, keep it up if it was longer than 24 hours. Cool. Keep it up if it's longer than 72 hours. Okay, that leaves 3. Okay, big winners. Anyone over a week? Wow, okay, Sue, tell me how long?
10 days.
Yeah! Awesome. Any of you guys see that movie before? Fat, Sick, Nearly Dead?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you've seen that before. My long-term patients have. We used to play it in here all the time before we were making our own videos, but great video. The dude loses 200 pounds, but ultimately comes off his drugs, gets healthy, changes his whole lifestyle, his mindset around, which is, I mean, that is really kind of our mission statement here. That's why we do the workshops. That's why we actually bought this building. Is if anyone remembers my last building, it was ceilings that were 5.5 feet tall and 1,200 square feet. And so the idea was that we could have a little bit more space for workshops like this. So today, the juicing, it can be a little intimidating. You've heard of cleanses and fasts, and if you've been a patient here longer than 6 months, I've already invited you to several of those. And so we do them on the regular because life is stressful. Sometimes we make bad choices, and then we need to restart and reboot. And so can anyone, or does anyone want to start to try to answer the question, because it's a common one that I get, what is the difference between a smoothie and a juice? And why would, in some ways, a juice be more beneficial than a smoothie? And then there's also obviously advantages to the smoothie. Go for it.
Well, a smoothie is usually with fruit and sugars, and the juice are generally greens, so much more beneficial.
Yeah, so she said typically more greens with the juice, typically more sugar with the smoothies, and it can be, although I can teach you guys how to make it either way, and that's kind of a common question. The juice that I grew up with, raise your hand if you grew up with like Donald Duck orange juice and like apple juice that was like, 97% sugar, right? Okay.
3% juice.
Right, yeah, 3% juice, 97% sugar. And so that's the stuff that I grew up on, and so I'm probably like many of you guys, like that's just kind of what was in the house. That's when I thought of juice, it was like orange juice, apple juice, and on a rare occasion, grapefruit juice. and that was about it, and maybe some fruit punch, right? And so that's really not much of what we're talking about now. And so when it comes to juicing, now it's really, I want you to think of it as more of a way, a quick shuttle to get a incredible amount of nutrients jam-packed into your body, right? And so when Dr. B and I were juicing this, you can imagine we have, I should have taken a picture of the bottle. We have one of these.
Don't steal my bottle.
Wow.
We had one of these filled up almost halfway with juice. So I've already consumed somewhere around like 110, 15, 20 ounces of juice today. I started the juice fast this morning with my wife, Dr. Button. And like the amount of nutrients that I got in my 100 ounces is far more than you could ever achieve in the same amount of smoothie, right? Now, on the flip side of that, people will also often like kind of really put down juices because of what?
Lack of fiber.
Lack of fiber and sugar, right? And so certainly, I don't need a show of hands, but like diabetics, people with blood sugar issues, like they might have been even steered away from juicing in the past by maybe even their family physician or what they see on TV, that type of thing, right? Pretty common misconception, right? And so that is definitely not true and not necessarily the case, right? And so just like anything else, it depends on what you put into it, and then of course how much that you're doing. So let's get into it. With anything that we do here, it's mindset, both prepping your mindset and prepping your pantry or your refrigerator. And so before we get too interested, even though I know we're in tight spaces, everyone go ahead. If you know me, you're wondering why we haven't started working out by now. So everyone go ahead and stand up. And so there's a couple of quick rules here. We're gonna run in place. That may not be physically possible for some of you, and that's okay. And so if you cannot, move your arms. If you can't move your arms, move your legs. If you can't move either of those, move your shoulders, right? But what we're gonna do is for 20 seconds straight, we're gonna go hard out on it. And so ideally in a perfect world, chins up, a smile is on your face, and you're running
I can't do that.
to the best of our ability. So what might that look like? It might look like this. It might look like this. It might look like butt kickers, right? It might look like white people dancing. Whatever it is, right? You're doing it quick. We're trying to get the heart rate up. We're trying to get the blood pumping, to increase the proprioception to get our brains working. You have a timer? Cool. 20 seconds. Tell me when we're going, Shoshana. Go, 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 go. Head up, smile. There you go, Mike. Yeah. Smile, guys, smile. You gotta smile on the outside. That's right. Keep it going, keep it going. Keep it going. And stop. All right, high five your neighbor. Good job. Nice job, nice job.
I think I got everybody. Did I miss anybody?
Raise your hand if you did not receive a juice. We got Eric,
Yeah.
two,
Just Eric?
and Shri. Cool. Cool. Okay, so getting prepped. So what are we doing? We just got our body and mind prepped. So now blood's flowing, proprioception's there, brain just turned on, right? Now we're ready to actually receive some information and maybe do something with it, right? So grocery store. So this weekend we went to the grocery store, like knowing that we're gonna do a 3-day, my wife and I, we've chosen to do a 3-day juice cleanse. So nothing but juice for 3 solid days, 72 hours, right? For us, that's a convenient window because it's like during the weekday, we like to barbecue on the weekends, maybe some other people do as well. And so boom, I could just hit it hard. I knew what I was getting into. I wanted to make sure, for me especially, what's a common concern if you're thinking about doing a juice? I'm worried I'm gonna be starving. I'm hungry all the time. I'm almost 24 hours in right now, and I'm not starving. And my metabolism is, I can almost guarantee, higher than most of you guys. You guys see me running around here. And so, but what I did is I already knew that was my objection. It's always been my objection, right? And so what I did is I planned, I'm like, okay, no matter what, I'm doing this, so I'm gonna win. And then, now, how do I make this a little bit better for myself and make sure that it's easier to win? And so, it's been nothing but juice. So, not only did we get up, first thing we did this morning is we juiced about 1 gallon, and my wife and I split that, or nearly split that, right away. Then, we had all the stuff that we got at the, mostly Costco, right? So you can get that. We're gonna talk about some strategies, sugar versus no sugar in a second, but what's another problem with juicing that some people may object to? Price. Oh, we'll get into taste too, right? Money, time, sugars, and then taste, right? And so we have a couple different, if you are concerned about blood sugar, we do have, Dr. B, right? Some low glycemic index juicing, yes? Awesome. Raise your hand if you're a little bit concerned about sugars. Cool. We got Ron. We got 4, 5, maybe 6 or 7. Cool. These two gentlemen in the front, right there.
All right, hold on. Need more.
Cool. So you gotta think of what is your strategy for you. So mine was mostly don't get hungry. I can choke down just about anything. I do a smoothie every day, almost twice a day, Monday through Thursday, right? So I wasn't so concerned about like if it tasted good or not, because usually juice, it's sweeter than what I usually eat anyhow, so it's gonna be good. Cost-wise, I was like, okay, I'm a cheap son of a gun, so I went to Costco, and they have like, what is it? Is it like a 10-pound bag or 25-pound bag of carrots? It's huge.
Yeah, like 15.
Yeah, big old huge thing of carrots, $5, right? So, not a problem. Celery, I bought the entire box from Costco of like 10 different things of celery, right? And so organic celery, it's one of the Dirty Dozen, often has lots of chemicals on it. So organic celery, organic carrots, $4, $5, very inexpensive, right? And so also strategically, I know from lots of juicing experience, celery is relatively easy to juice. And so, like, we'll get into like the actual tactics of juicing, but celery is relatively easy to juice if you've ever done it yourself. So, what do you like to eat? How is that going to affect your sugars? Get a list and get like quadruple what you think you're actually going to consume. And I'm going to show you some pictures here in a second. So, because the reason that we're juicing is to help the body naturally detoxify and to supercharge like all the nutrients into our body, we want to make sure that we're getting the best of it, right? And so maybe I've talked about like Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen, and you know maybe switching to organic meat before you switch to organic fruits and vegetables first, which you should because of toxic bioaccumulation. For this particular challenge, if you can get your hands on organic fruits and vegetables, this is the time to buy them, right? So wash them.
Always.
Yep. So get the organic for this particular challenge, ideally. Okay. Obviously, you want more veggies than fruits, right? You can look up a list. Where is it high on the glycemic index? So things like watermelon, right? Probably not a great thing. Orange juice, definitely not a great thing, right? So you might use one orange with a gallon of juice, so it's not gonna, basically pollute the whole pond. So you still get some of the flavor, some of the sweetness, but without, one orange and that much juice is not gonna kill you. And then, like I mentioned, celery, cucumber, even carrots to some degree. Think of it like a ramrod. So if you actually take a juicer, which we have right there, Dr. Can you grab me that juicer?
Sure can.
I don't know why this is like a mini juicer, but it actually kind of acts like a ramrod to kind of push the rest of the stuff down. Here's us this weekend. So raise your hand if you own a juicer. Better question. Raise your hand if you don't own a juicer. Okay. So that was more than half of us. Relatively inexpensive addition to your kitchen. Most people unfortunately don't use it, but like the first time when they first got it for like a week or two, and then it kind of gathers dust. I recommend adding that to your kitchen. If you're a patient here, we're going to be busting you out on the regular, right? And so this is something that making your own juice probably should be a semi-regular part of your routine, right? It's just a great way to supercharge nutrients into your body, right? Very easy. So, oh, I was wrong. $3.79 for like a 15-pound bag of carrots, right? Organic celery sticks, you get that whole package there, like $4, right? And so that's going to be the base, and where a lot of the moisture and the liquid is going to come from there. And you're obviously going to get some nutrients from there as well. Very little sugar when it comes to the celery and the cucumber, of course, right? More with the carrot.
Absolutely.
What are you guys drinking right now? Right? So, except for the greenies, we have cukes, celery, carrots, and apples. That's kind of the big mixture, and a few grapes, but that's hardly any. That's what you guys consumed that first time, right? Relatively sweet. If you're kind of concerned about blood sugar, which everyone should be, but if you're especially concerned about blood sugar, then you'd want to add some more celery or even cucumbers, even easier, right? And then cut out some of the apples, right? Or you add apples very slowly to where you get it to where you like it, right? Whereas we took two bagfuls of organic apples to make this 2.5 gallons or 2 gallons of juice. And yet people will look at you like you're like going to a grocery store or something like that. So we're walking out of Costco and we had, a couple $100 worth of stuff, but it's like both of our fridges are totally stocked with food where, if it was just what we were going to eat it, there's no way that we could consume that much food.
Right.
right? But juicing, we're gonna get most of those, not all, most of those nutrients by consuming. And then right now I have some really happy chickens, right? Because all the waste products can go to that. Now, if you don't have chickens or animals that might eat them, you might consider doing like we've done in the past, where you bake them into like a healthy muffin or something like that. We've done that before, where like a flaxseed muffin with zucchini or carrot in it, right? And so you can kind of use your scraps that way wisely, and still kind of get the full amount of nutrients out of them. And you get, you freeze it for a later date.
I bury them.
Bury them, or that,
In a tree.
or compost it, right? So, if you've ever juiced, you've probably made large messes, because there is a learning curve when it comes to juicing, and so it's kind of like making a smoothie, but even more so. And so what I like to do, and Dr. B could probably chime in on this as well, is most juices you can't fit a whole apple in there, and so I prep everything, and that's where the kids have a blast. And then it's like a couple pieces of apple, then it might be some parsley or some greens like spinach, which are very difficult to juice, jammed in there with a celery stick or a cucumber or a carrot, right? And so now we're kind of mixing that juice, right? And so that'd be the easiest way to do it. When the very first time that we started juicing, we did like, a bag of carrots, a bag of beets, and we did individuals. I think most people will agree that's maybe not the best way, not the tastiest way to do it, and oftentimes most of the things are going to be totally chock full of sugar.
Show them different options.
Two different types of juicers. Anyone know what those two types are?
Well, you have the extractor and like citrus. Yeah.
So three, I guess, if you count citrus, but it still kind of works on that principle of the centrifuge, right? The spinning, right? And then you have like the masticating. And the masticating, the one that makes the little fiber turds out the
yeah,
end.
Yeah.
So very slow, much slower to juice a ton of juice, but it's great at like things like wheatgrass or like your parsleys, those type of things, because it's going to get every last little ounce of drop of juice out of there. So it's more efficient. It's just slow and annoying. So I will tell you, I like Costco. We bought this one on Amazon. This one actually a previous patient
This is mine.
gave to us. This is Dr. B's. I've probably gone through in the last 10 years 7 juicers. I think that those companies have it in mind that you're going to use it like most Americans do, where you use it for 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, once, and you're like, nah, next, right? Yeah, and it's kind of those things that you kind of sometimes can even find at garage sales, right? Because, especially at estate sales, because that they were never using it, right? They got it for once, I want to get healthy after a surgery, and then it never happened again. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, this is not new, crazy stuff, right? And so that'd be an easy thing, but when Costco and if Costco has them, I think it's the best way. They used to have Jack LaLanne for like $99. And so I remember one year, it was just before kids, we were on like this juice kicks. We went through 6 juicers. And obviously with Costco, it's great because, stop working. Did you do anything? No, it stopped working. I just happened to be using it every day, right? And then boom, you get that quick exchange. It's covered, right, under them instead of like, fighting with whoever makes it to try to get it, blah, blah, blah. These are some practical tips that I've found because it is a lot of moving parts, which means it's more often if you don't take care of it or you try jamming something in there, whatever, it's more likely it can break. And so buying it at Costco is an easy way that you can make sure that you're going to get something it's going to stay around. They usually back their stuff, right? Any other immediate hot burning questions?
What about the Vitamix for
Cool. So Vitamix is a fantastic tool. You guys, if you've been here for a while, I've had the same one since 2008 or 9. That's pretty impressive, right? That's my favorite blender. I think it basically, juice or make a smoothie out of an arm, or ice cubes, or anything else that you want. but that is definitely a smoothie, not a juice, right? So unless you were to pulverize it in there and cheesecloth it out, that would be a juice. That would be a smoothie. Now, I realize who I'm working with, right? Half of us don't have juicers, right? So when I've done this workshop in the past, what I would recommend then is one, get a juicer. It's like $100, $200. If you get something like this, it might be less than $200 on Amazon, right? I think it's like Prime Week or something like that, right? So, okay, good. Tonight, get it tonight. Speaking of our phones and social media, who has their phone here right now? Raise your hand. Don't lie to me. Okay, cool. Who here would like to win said juicer? Anyone? Would anyone like a juicer tonight?
Of course.
For free. Okay. So here's how you can win this juicer tonight, right? Someone will be going home with this juicer tonight. One of you. Hopefully not me. This is how you qualify. I'll be pulling the name out before we leave tonight. If you can share on social media that you are here, so aka check in, and or share a couple of our two of our posts, and share two of our posts, that'll enter you to a drawing. I know some people don't have it. It's just an easy way for us to get out there, where it's a little hard to get out there these days. So if you do share it twice and check in, let somebody know.
By texting a screenshot to Wellness Keys phone number.
Cool. And then we'll pull a drawing tonight. So the sooner you do it, the better. Yes, ma'am.
Are we doing one of them, or do you want us to do both? Share
Share and
and
yes.
ticket?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please. And you'll get a ticket, and then we'll draw the ticket out tonight, and you'll all see it, and then someone will be juicing tomorrow.
Very nice.
Cool?
You have to send a screenshot, 'cause I won't see it unless I get a
Yeah, they make it really hard to see who actually does it now. So,
What are we screenshotting?
that you shared it. So after you share it, it should go onto your timeline or whatever.
Oh, okay,
And then
okay,
you'll
got
just
it.
screenshot that. You can do it on Instagram.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. How do I
There's
check?
like a check-in, a way on Facebook that you can check in at a location. So you can check in.
while people are playing on their phones, which
Yeah,
is
you can
pretty
check
normal
it
in
out.
America.
That's okay. If you want to
Any other questions?
Go to Facebook.
Check in and
Take
do what
picture,
else?
post it on your
Share.
stories, screenshot
Share 2
that.
posts. We have like 10 posts a week, so that should be pretty easy.
What's the phone number?
797-6683. It's not as catchy as Learn and Row, though, is it? Oh yeah, pancakes. Yeah. Those jingles, man, they stick with you, don't they?
They do.
Dr. B has a jingle. Well, we'll save that for another video.
I do. I could read it.
Could win a juicer, is that the one?
No, any post. Anyone.
So we talked about a lot of moving parts while you guys are doing that real quick. I'll just show you so you have the little thing that punches it all down. This is the top, comes up, and then you have the centrifuger in the middle that grinds it all up, then the juice comes out through the wire mesh there. And then you have this guy right here where the juice comes out, and then inside this, you got another, that's been back. There's another thing in here that separates the foam from the juice. Unless you like the foam, I like the foam, but some people don't like the foam.
I like the foam. My wife does not like the foam.
Then you have this guy that catches all the pulp, which you can use for whatever afterwards, and then your base.
Your engine.
So, is it convenient to just get it done and go out the door? No,
No, you
because
gotta wash it.
then you get home and then you gotta let it soak
Yeah,
for 2
yeah,
days.
no, yeah.
You let it dry.
Wash it right away. Otherwise, those crusties are, especially like carrots, like it'll stain it orange so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. And then let's just talk real practical because I will tell you today. So what did I have today? We had, my wife's back on the kick. We're going to do celery juice. And so celery juice, good for your skin, blah, 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 keeps you young, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're getting old. We want to look young. So celery juice in the morning. We've been doing that anyhow. So we do that whole bag of organic celery juice, which equals about like 12 ounces for each of us. So we chug that, first of all, while we're cutting up all the rest of the produce. So this morning we did apples, carrots, celery. That's it. Yeah. And I had about 40 ounces of that. So I had my 10 to 12 ounces of celery juice, 40 ounces of mixed juice this morning, and then I had a little bit left over, so right before I left to the office this morning, I had another like 12 ounces. On the way, Whole Foods, my favorite one from Whole Foods is, of course, Doctor's Orders, right? Extra ginger. And so I get a Doctor's Orders. So by comparison, a Doctor's Orders costs about how much for 24 ounces?
Like $10.
11 something, right? And so you can see, depends on where's your snag in life. Is it time? Is it money? Is it taste? Is it sugar, right? So you got to decide what it is for you, and then you juice it accordingly. We're giving that big G. So this is something that I always have in my fridge, because all the time I don't necessarily have the time to juice right away. So this is 59 ounces. It's cold pressed. It has not been nuked or pasteurized. So if you have juice that's been pasteurized, do you think it's as good for you as one that has not been like fried and all the nutrients killed out of it? Yeah, right? I answered my own question, right? So pasteurized juice, not as good for you. You want raw, ideally, this is cold pressed, but the fresher, the better, right? You're getting it as that stuff is opening up, right? So as you're breaking down that cell membrane. This one right here, almost always at Costco, often on sale, less than $8, right? For 59 ounces. This one has, I believe, spirulina in it and chlorella. Also, kind of something in that superfood category. So if you were gonna inexpensively do a 1, 3, or 7-day juice cleanse, something like this would be very simple, right? Obviously, I can't modify the ingredients, but very simple, lower, not perfect, lower. So this one has 50 calories. It has 12 grams of sugar per 8 fluid ounces, right? So not great, but lower on the glycemic index, right? And this one has, again, apple, celery, cucumber, kale, collard green, lemon, mint, spearmint, ginger, spinach, chlorella, right? So all organic, pretty decent option right here, right? This is one of my go-tos. Doctor's Orders at Whole Foods, and then what's another juice place here in town? Nectar. So I don't know if you guys live around here. There's a couple of them. One is right there at La Encantada. Nectar, lots of different juice options there. I think my favorite one is the greenie there. There's also a toxin flush, but I think the greenie is my favorite. And then they have one over there on, I think it's on Grant, if I'm not mistaken, if you're on that side of town. Yeah. So again, pre-made juice, or when they make it fresh for you right there at the stores, usually you're looking at like 10 to 12 bucks for 24 ounces, $8 for 60 ounces, right? Even less if you do it yourself. So what do you have on your time, right? And like what we've chosen to do is Emily and I are, and then we make one, try to make a gallon or so, and I would not juice, or I would not drink the juice much past 24 hours. Why is that?
Because all the enzymes are
Yeah.
like that by
Right,
then.
right, right. It becomes closer to dead, right? You want live juice,
Right.
is the whole idea. Did I scare you guys all away, or are we gonna do this thing, or what?
Well, let's do it.
Who's doing it? Raise your hand if you're doing it.
Let's do it.
All right, who's any crazy out there doing 7 days?
No.
7 days?
I have. But I
Seven
haven't
days
done
is tough.
3.
No doubt about it. It's tough. All right, I'll give you even some. Who's gonna start tomorrow? Raise your hand. Okay, you got to watch the movie Fact, Sick, and Nearly Dead tonight as your homework.
What's it called?
Record everything else. The movie that we were playing right here, Shoshana found it for free. I thought it used to be on Netflix,
Oh, shoot, it wasn't on.
I think it was something else. Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Very inspirational. It'll get the juices flowing, figuratively and literally, and kind of like really get you in the mindset. Like, you can do this. Let's get it done, right? Also, I would encourage you guys to do it and check in here with us and let us know how you're doing. Oh, here's a great recipe. Post it on the page, or if I post a juice, here's my recipe, and then I can also post it on the page. That type of thing, right? And so the whole idea is that a community like this, it should be a little bit easier. We should be helping each other make this more efficient, and easier, right? I will also tell you, in the same breath, it's not super easy. Because if it was, everyone would be doing it, and we'd all be, healthy, no drug, awesome energy, sleeping wonderfully humans. But that's not where America's at right now, right? So we're moving in that right direction. I know many of us have done a few of my challenges, and it just, if you're just taking a mini baby step in this direction, you're going the right way, right? Little by little, so maybe 3 or 4 years from now, you're at your 15th workshop and you're like, got it, we're doing it, babe, come on, let's go. And then you do it, right? And so it gets easier and easier the more you do it. Like, I keep progressing on the juice thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna win. Set the excuses aside. I'm starting Tuesday. No matter what happens, our anniversary 14th year is tomorrow. No matter what happens, we're still juicing, and then we'll make it up this weekend, right? And so it's just, you got to do it, because I guarantee something's gonna happen, right? Something at work, something with the kids. I didn't have time. My alarm didn't work. I didn't make it this morning. Whatever it is, so the easiest thing that you could do would be on your way home, stop at Sprouts, get just a couple little of these things if you don't go to Costco, and like you have it for just in case, right? What you don't want is to get hungry. Hungry people make bad decisions. Right? Am I right or am I right? So keep your tummy full and drink tons of water, right? So again, let me just quickly go through. People want to see, like, what does that actually look like in juicy? 32, let's just call it a 32 ounce cup. I also had that 12 before and after. But 32 ounces in the morning, I juiced it. I had a Whole Foods 24 ounce green doctor's orders. Dr. B made me some dragon blood this morning.
Amazing.
It was really good.
It was really good.
It was really good. Really good.
With some dragon blood.
Tell him, Dr. B.
You have to find the dragon first.
Well, yeah.
That's all. Beets. So it's beets, carrots, apple, ginger, and lemon. I made over a gallon today, and I spent $16 at Sprouts. Okay, that lasted me all day. I'm actually full right now. I just topped it up. You guys can see me in the back there. Yeah, so it was, and I even bought a little bit more ginger than I should have, because I like a little spicy.
Yeah, I like the kick.
So
Right, and you could sprinkle some cayenne on top. That's kind of fun. And then you kind of like mix it up a little bit. And it's like a, get you a little bit. Yeah, you know, play with it. That's a fun, like, you can make it like a game, right? So again, how much time do you have? So we're doing our own. I had that. My wife Emily bought a bunch of ones like this, but in also different flavors, right? And then you could even go easier, because they sell, I believe, 1 and 3 and 5 day cleanse kits at Nectar, right? So it's like pre-done for you, pretty dang simple. I believe, oh no, I'm not sure if they're all organic. I don't believe that they are. But that would be a super easy option. In my opinion, it's not enough food for me, but that's why I can control my own portions by pre-buying it. Don't go hungry though. Hungry people make bad decisions and they quit.
Whole Foods actually has smaller cold pressed juices.
Yes.
Of theirs.
Yeah, and Emily and they have different flavors, and so you can like experiment. Like in fact, I think I still have one left. So I drank another 32 ounce one of these when I first got here for second shift. I've had another cup of the green stuff. I'll drink this and probably another 32 ounces tonight for dinner. And so I'm just keeping my body fueled, because I'm burning a ton of calories right now. And so my workouts, so those of you guys that work out right now, right? Normally I'm pushing like make sure we're getting lots of exercise. My workout today consisted, because I knew what I was doing, right? So we talked about heart rate variability at my last workshop. I know that I'm gonna go into this slightly stressful situation to my body as I'm changing my diet, right? And so instead of, jacking up the weights and going real hard and strong today, no, right? I took a nice walk, right? Listened to a podcast, right? I did some crunches, I did some leg lifts. I was like that guy at the gym that was like talking to everybody. Walking around instead of actually working out. Except it was just me at my house. So I was just talking to myself. But and so it was just a really easy kind of like stretching, maybe like a yoga, something very gentle, right? Because my body, its main priority right now is digestion and detoxification, right? I'm not trying to build guns. I'm trying to work on this part, right? And so strategize. Think about what you normally do for your routine. Strategize when you go to do this juice cleanse. And everyone in here should start with 24 hours no matter what. But be prepared. Don't go in empty-handed, otherwise you're not setting yourself up for success. Any last questions?
How many ounces a day do you drink that?
So I'm gonna drink somewhere close to like 150 ounces. That's probably way more than most of you guys would ever need, right? I've also adjusted, 60, 70 people, done a mild workout, and it just, the amount of calories that I've blown through. I'm trying not to lose a ton of weight right now, so it's kind of like the phase of life I'm in. But many people that put these kits together would say about 72 ounces. Or less.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what
Yeah.
I agree with,
Yeah.
A little over
60 to 80, 60 to 100 ounces, depending on, we have obviously lots of different types of humans here, right? So 60 to 100 ounces, and then you're chugging water like a fiend. Like, you should constantly be doing this, because I noticed about 2.5 hours, it was gone, and I wanted to have the next thing. Like, just fill me up. I was like, Shoshana, give me another green juice. And so it's keeping that tummy full. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. And so, get it done. It helps if the household's doing it together, for sure. A little harder with the kids when you're making them eggs or something else in the morning. But get prepared and do it. So, do you think there's any wonder why chiropractic patients on average are healthier than the average American? Ryan, you've been here several years, right? We do these workshops. Our goal, we win when you're healthier, right? This is a healthcare system versus a sick care system, right? And so, our guy, my little brother, he's a medical doctor, MD. They're like managing disease, right? And so we want to actually encourage and then educate people on how to actually be healthier, so that way, when it comes for our Healthy for the Holidays workshop that we're going to do in November this year, right? You're here for that. You probably heard it 4 years ago, or a version of it, right? But you're in the mindset that when I go into the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that kind of stuff, and most people are gaining 10 pounds, you're gonna have that. I know this is gonna happen. Here's how I'm gonna strategize, and here's how I'm gonna win, right? And so we can do that. Like, usually last year obviously was weird. We usually do an immune system workshop, right? What can I do? So instead of the flu season, right, we're gonna strategize how we stay healthy this year. How about that, right? Instead of falling in, succumbing to media and pressure and drugs, right? We can take care of our immune system the natural way, right? And so again, it's step by step. We're all at different levels, different places in our lives right now, but take some action. I dare you, and I also promise you, if you do, it'll be a little easier next time. A little easier next time. A little easier next time.
Double dog dare.
Double dog. Any questions?
Good.
So, we got a raffle. Any other last minute people want to sign up for the raffle? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller.
I did. Gotcha. Alright.
Okay. I don't even know who's in here, so there's no way I could possibly cheat.
The winner is
And the winner is Tash. Yes. Just kidding. Annette R. Congratulations.
That's so wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Yay. Good for you.
Wait, is that me? Oh no, she's not here. Just kidding. And actually, I have a box and the other piece that goes with this over there.
Thank you.
And brand new, never been
Good for
used.
you. That's great.
Congratulations. So,
So I have to start doing it right now.
tonight
You
or
gotta go
tomorrow,
shopping first.
go shopping. Everyone, shopping
shopping.
is your key. I would rather you, well, no, actually research would tell me now is the best time. Because if you wait till Monday and say, I gotta get everything perfect, that also won't happen. So stop by somewhere tonight, get something to hold you over, go to Costco, get the big stuff, or if you're just gonna buy it. And that way you have it all ready and ready to rock and roll. And since we're talking about juicing, next workshop, love my guts. Love my guts, right? Anyone here have had tummy issues in the past? Indigestion, heartburn,
Yeah.
constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating? And anyone like that?
On very rare occasions.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about that. We'll be talking about some probiotics, how it works, and some things that we can do to optimize this system. So things like even like your immune system and your mood and your energy can be enhanced better by working on this and making this better.
Right on.
Cool?
Yes.
TBD, that one's going to be in probably early August. Next thing that we actually have here that's not going to be able to handle all of you guys is a free yoga workshop, yoga class with Patty.
Not interested.
If you've seen our website, we've had her teach here before. Probably 6, 8, maybe 10 people I could space out throughout here. And she'll take us through 45 minutes. Some of it's even some light meditation. Great stuff. Most of us do not spend enough time stretching. Great. And she'll work with beginners. Yes, it's go time. But again, that's going to be in about 3 weeks on Tuesday at 6:15 here. BYOM. BYOM, bring your own map. But again, top 10, that's it. So there's a sign-up sheet over there by Sheree and Loxie if you guys are interested. Any last questions before we clean up?
Right on. That's it.
Awesome. Give you guys a hand. Thank you for